well. Anyway, hello
Yeah.
everybody. Hello and welcome to Creative Cut Talks, the show that aims to promote sustainable visual arts and to bridge the gap between art creators and consumers. After a very, very long production break, an intentional one for mid-January and rather for mid-December and January, and an unintentional one for February because of, for some part, my ill health, and then the other part, the ill health of some of the people that we were supposed to partner with or interview. We had a break. So finally, this year, a young, powerful woman is our first this Women's Month. She made waves on social media. She stole the hearts of many. She's been making strides. Her bio before, because I've been following her, was here to fill the female gap. She currently calls herself a hedonist and an artpreneur, and she says she's here to show us the world through her eyes. Itumeleng, I've just said quite a bit. I think I'm just going to take it to you now. Who is Itumeleng? What is your art background? How did you go into art? Why are you doing art? Just take us through the journey.
Okay. My name is Itumeleng Motswetla. I'm a full-time visual artist. I'm 22 years of age and I've been doing art full-time for about a year and a half now. I think that's all there is to it.
Okay, you've been doing art for a year and a half full-time. What other things were you doing with art full-time?
Before that, I was enrolled, got used. Hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah, Kat.
I can hear you. Am I audible on your end?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, okay. By the way, our audience, you can pose questions and comments as we progress. When we shared this poster, we did say get some questions ready for our young artist. So Itumeleng, when you started, you said you were here to bridge the gap between, rather the female gap within the art industry. What gaps are these, and what have you managed to achieve so far?
Okay, the gap I'm talking about is the one that we see very clearly where this industry is very male dominated. That's no secret, and you don't see a lot of women in the art industry, doing what they love, and I want to see more people doing that, and I'm a bit nervous. Okay. Hello.
As Emma, you may continue. I can hear you.
Yeah, Kat, how is it? I wonder
Emma,
if
I
it's
can hear
me.
you.
Yeah.
But you may continue. I can hear you and on my end.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I'd love to see more women in the visual art industry doing what they love, and also considered pursuing it on full time, because this doing what you love thing full time is people in Botswana fully understand. Total, let me not say people, but batsadi ba rona, and I don't see a lot of female artists doing it full time, and it's like there's this fear pounced on us, the route followed, we won't succeed, but there's no proof, and the only way we can prove that doing it, and I can tell you, me doing it right now, it's possible, and the things we were made to fear growing up are just imaginary, and the fears are not bigger than us. It's totally possible to pursue
It's totally
your
possible.
passion full time. Yeah, even if it's not just anything. The support is not that great. The support is there. Trust me, people are there. You just need to get into the actual industry to see them. They'll totally support you.
Okay, so you mentioned that you've been doing it for a year and a half full time. But when did you start drawing, and how did you get into drawing and painting?
Started drawing, I'd say that this is something kind of and I don't want to say I've been for as long as I can remember. I was a creative child to express myself visually more. Right now I'm to speak. I don't know how to present to you in my heart right now.
With
That I'm not true and I'm not gonna lie to you. I threw in the towel and it was not an easy decision. I'll tell you that one. Not an easy one. I have a very stubborn attitude. Though it may be considered a negative trait, it worked well for me. Motswetla in terms of being stubborn with the things I want. But I don't care what nobody.
Wow. These sweets are 100, girl. Relax. You got Chawadanko. That's a very beautiful
That's my
story.
best friend, guys.
Is
Thank
it?
you.
Hi, Dusty.
Truly supportive, hey?
Yes, that's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to see friends and family support each other. Now, you already told us that you were enrolled for civil engineering in Bust, and you dropped it for art. We know how it is in our country, particularly with the arts, and we know how you can earn quite a lot as a civil engineer and how you can make a livelihood. Didn't you have that fear of, what if I go into the streets and become a hungry artist? What if, I
Girl. Yeah, that definitely. I had that fear for the longest time. I remember Ibile, right after I came back home and I could see the disappointment on my family's faces, even some friends nebaleka go ha lefoko la kgothatso, like, I agree gore this is something you love, but are you sure it's gonna work out? And I was really skeptical for a little while. I hastily applied for school in China to do the same course, civil engineering, because yeah, I don't like another those regretful thoughts. What if I do end up a hungry artist? What if this doesn't work out? What proof do I have that it will work out? I applied for civil engineering there, got accepted, but it was a partial scholarship and my family couldn't afford it. So it's too late to turn back now. So we're gonna stick with this.
And you're making a living, aren't you?
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Okay, that's beautiful. I think it's maybe a bit premature to ask if it's working out or not, but perhaps in your 10 years, 20 years time, I'll come back and ask you, how was the journey? You were an inspiration to me personally because
thank you.
I think that was very brave. It's a very interesting story, and I'd love to see how it unfolds. Moving on, in your bio, you say that you're inspired by your mom, and you go on to say that you choose to do, or you focus rather, if you're not doing commissions, on artworks that are, speaking to mental health, gender-based violence, and women empowerment. Are the two inspirations correlated?
Kind of, because my mom is my biggest inspiration. Roots from her raising me as a single parent, and trying to put food on the table no matter what. And I feel like Hobona, something like that firsthand, proved to me that it's possible.
I think we lost her for a bit. I hope it reconnects. That was Itumeleng Motswetla. We having a chit chat with her about her journey and her strides, and how she overcame being a full-time artist, or is still becoming is a full-time artist. Going to wait for her to rejoin, perhaps. In the meantime, you're tuned into Creative Cut, the show that aims to promote sustainable visual arts and to bridge the gap between art creators and consumers. We have several platforms. We have Instagram. We do download our videos into YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Do catch up with our other episodes that we had before, just to learn from other industries players. In few weeks, rather, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be joined by a text expert who will be explaining visual arts and text. I've lost Itumeleng. She's currently not online, but I will continue waiting. Do you have any questions for Itumeleng while we wait, so that we tune in? Rather, we actually ask her the questions when she tunes in. We continue to wait for Itumeleng. She's back online. Hi, Itu. Hi.
Ma, I'm so sorry. My phone said something about wanting to cool down. And it just fully shut down on me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so sorry.
These sweets kept us updated.
Yeah.
Hi, Beatrice. Hi, Beatrice. Shout out to Beatrice all the way from Kenya. These sweets kept us
Oh
updated
wow.
that you're coming. Emma. Um, Technology, guys, apologies for that. Technology is losing us, but we understand that
I
one of our service providers has just installed 5G, so hopefully it will get better. For now, we can. It is what it is. Anyway,
I
say Shato Are. Ask her what keeps her going on days where she feels like she's run out of steam. Say Shato, thank you for the question. What keeps you going, Itumeleng, when you feel like you've run out of steam?
All right. I'm not gonna lie to you. What we preach on social media sometimes kind of contradicts what we actually do in real life. And when I have an artist block, which I currently am suffering from, guys, I just allow myself to feel it. Okay, I don't paint. I don't paint if I am feeling clouded by my thoughts or my emotions. I don't paint. I take a break and like dira things that I know I can draw inspiration from.
Okay, so you do get artist blocks and you just set back and then you resume. I think.
I do, but it's a bad habit, but it's a bad habit. I've had my uncle tell me this that Ghana, this is no longer a hobby. This is no longer something I do for fun, and I can't just paint when I feel like it. But this is a job now. There's bills to pay and there's deadlines to meet. So, ha ke simolla ke iketla ke jala e le gore anong I will disappoint clients, and that's not what I do. So
Yeah. So
I'm learning to have more self-discipline because
I'm
that's
particularly
what I.
I'm particularly interested in when you have commission work. Do you get artist
Yeah.
blocks? When you get artist blocks, what
I
happens?
will never, never. I can artist blocks for me apply to the paintings that I do out of creativity. Really bad at my creativity for me, in the moment. But if it's something say like it's structured and there's a deadline, I will tag it out. I'm gonna tag it out and do it.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I like it when you honor because I think in my networking expeditions, I had somebody comment saying, artists will tell you this will be ready then, and it doesn't happen. So I was just curious whether that happens when you get commission work. But I'm
That's
happy to
true.
know
Or
that
you can't wait for inspiration forever because it won't come to you unless you go out seeking it.
and seek it. And on that note, what inspires you? Like apart from your mom, we already established your mom, but now when you get yes,
Remember the hedonist thing?
yes.
Why Charane?
Elaborate.
One thing about me, I follow my emotions a lot. I follow my heart a lot. Ke kgona go tsaya tlhaloganyo and my logic ke beela hale be ke re thinking I'm gonna do the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm gonna be as spontaneous as possible with the decisions I make because if it makes me happy at that time, I know it's gonna bring me inspiration. So many things, be it music, be it traveling, being out in nature and exploring my other interests because there's more to me than just my art.
Mhm, mhm. That's good. So there's nature that's going out. Now, let's go back to what we were talking about before you cut, and maybe let me ask it this way. You state in your artist bio, your artist CV, that you choose GBV, women empowerment and mental health. Why did you particularly choose those topics?
It draws from what I mentioned earlier before ke khatha gore my mom is my biggest inspiration because o nkgodisitse in the absence of a father figure, and that's something that inspired me to go after what I want, because when I something like that firsthand, ke bona gore it's possible to do anything that you set your mind to. And I I wanna be like her. I don't know how to put it, but there's just something about a woman that knows what she wants and does exactly that, because she's gonna get exactly that. I don't know if that makes sense. Correct.
It makes sense.
Also
I'm
the mental health thing, I'm gonna mention gore it's looked upon, and o setse o kare it's a norm malatsing a gore setse re tlwaetse gore so many families don't have a father figure, and o kare yaanong go a tlwaelesega, but we don't realize how it affects the child. Gore kana this is something that happens between two adults, yaanong go hela go affecta motho e leng gore had nothing to do with what happened. And I won't lie to you, for the longest time, I struggled with my mental health. I really did. And I've gone for therapy. I've done it all. And this is, let me show you. This semicolon you see right here is a symbol that means so much to me, because for the longest time, it's a global it's a global symbol e leng gore ya dirisiwa ke batho to spread awareness on mental health issues. So
Oh, okay.
while I was in therapy, while I was in therapy, ke ne ka bolela my therapist, I'm like, this is something that means a lot to me, and I want to get it tattooed because there's so many other people out there doing it, and it's like a pledge to yourself. I don't know if you want me to explain it and go into detail right now about what it means, because I include it in my art as well.
Is it?
Yeah. So, a
Now I want
semicolon
to
is
glue your
used.
pieces.
Kante, I wonder if my sound is not affected because we got an echo.
There is definitely an echo, but I think we are good to go.
Yeah.
We can carry on with it. I can hear you well
Okay,
from my
you can
end.
hear me.
Emma.
Okay. So, a semicolon is used by an author, say Mobukeng, when they could have stopped a sentence, but they chose to just put this little symbol right here. We're gonna put a pause here. We're not gonna put a stop to the sentence. Like a full stop. I'm just gonna pause it for now and then continue later. In this case, the author is me. The sentence is used to describe my life, and this little symbol right here reminds me that it's not always the best decision to put an end to my life, because this particularly raises awareness of suicide. And for the longest time, I just, even the smallest inconveniences make me feel like, man, it's the end of the world, and there's no getting back up from this, and I won't recover from something like this. So this is something I put on my skin permanently for a pleasure to myself, but I wouldn't want to see myself. Okay, say see other people go lesong lani with this tattoo after pledging to myself what I'd never do something like that. But if I ever do, then I would have disappointed myself. And now that it's here, I don't want to disappoint myself. I don't want to disappoint the people around me because it means so much to me.
You are art. You are art, and I'm happy to know
Yeah.
that art has worked for you. And I assume that it's been art therapy as well that has contributed to you being with us today and giving us such amazing pieces. Am I correct?
You definitely. I mean, it's amazing. God, it's like having a therapist and a job in the same place. Like
Wow.
I don't feel bossed around. I feel like it's my safe place if I'm feeling down sometimes. Sometimes. I don't always go there if I feel bad, if I feel down, but when I do, I realize gore, this is something that has a positive impact on my emotions, and I don't know how to put it, but it's like being on cloud nine. I've never been on cloud
I can
nine,
totally
but
relate.
being behind my canvas, yeah, being behind my canvas is the closest I've been to cloud nine.
I can totally relate because I myself, as a visual artist, usually
Yeah.
my biggest escape is my brush, as you can see my canvases. But I'm very curious when you do this escape
Ah,
pieces. When you do this escape pieces, because I'm asking this because myself, I know some of the pieces end up scaring me, or I know people think that's weird, or reminding me of that and me not letting go. How is your release
yeah.
process with those art pieces? Like what goes on in your head? How do you feel? Can you unpack that for us?
Mm. I'm not gonna lie to you. Doing art is like, say you on a lento on your skin. I get it, you know what hand twist it forms a scab.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I create a piece, even if I don't post it, even if it's something that I keep for myself, every time I create a piece, it is sentimental to what I've been through in my life and have never been able to share. Okare ke khobola that scab, and imagine every time having to create art e leng gore it represents your emotions and you just never get to let that wound heal because bonela we khobola to break it and
Yeah,
show the true I don't know how to put it, but exactly that.
exactly that. Like you said, you
Mm.
express better in paint. These sweets are in law. She's literally a walking piece. Not that's not for sale. Definitely, she is art.
Oh
She
my
is art.
god.
And then Itumeleng is such an amazing individual and a phenomenal artist. I agree. She will remain one of the young artists that are paving a way of changing the culture of visual arts, how it's viewed and perceived. Definitely. I'm inspired by this young lady personally. I've been following and watching her for a very long time. By the way, her mom, who inspires her, also is a phenomenal woman. So, women that raise phenomenal women. Shout out, Lebza. Shout out.
Eh, black women, oh my god, strong women don't cry.
um, Now, it's
Ah,
been an emotional few minutes.
made me so emotional.
It's been an emotional few
Thank you
minutes.
so much.
And I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad you're being appreciated because some of these appreciations keep us going, paid or unpaid. But please, if you can, do pay. Um, Now, what are some of the observations that you have on visual arts generally in Botswana? What are your observations as a young artist coming into the industry?
My observations, okay. Let me just say it's very common about art is not performing that great mo Botswana, and it is true. The support is there, but it could be better, you know. Because how leba outside go mahateng a mangwe, they invest more into the creative industries and they're booming, they're doing so great. And I feel like if my country did that, we would reap the same benefits. Gore le how le a child, you're taught gore o ya sekolong o pasa form 5 o tlhopha course o hetsa university o bo batla tiro. I hate that. Hate that. I hate that because it doesn't even work these days. Okay, let me not say it doesn't even work, but I think people need to explore more and realize that there's more to the creative industry than what we see portrayed on TV.
So that's basically your observation. Now, do you think the situation is improving as you come? I mean, one of your bio before said you're here to fill the gap, to bridge that gap. Do you see it improving? Do you see young intentional artists improving that, or restagnating? There's no hope.
I definitely see a lot of improvement. God, I can say 2 years ago, am I really gonna take this path or not? There was a lot of skeptical energy surrounding it. What's actually happening, and I don't think the arts were doing that well as much as they are right now. There's so much more support right now. But Botswana is starting to actually see the importance of getting art, and it's amazing. And
Yeah.
that goes to show it's gonna get better and better. So we'll get there.
We will get there. I totally believe. I mean, one of the aim of Creative Cut is to bridge the gap between art creators and consumers. And I believe through platforms like this, through support, through you guys honoring, we will indeed bridge that gap. Now, there was a point in time, as I snooped around your social media, that you were going to Mabuning for art. I don't know if you were trying to relocate to SA or what was happening there.
I was just visiting. I was just visiting, but there's a lot I hold back. I don't know. You know what they say about don't count your eggs before they hatch, but there's something I'm working on that I'm keeping a secret, but I don't want to share it right now.
No
But
worries.
let's just say my visit to Joburg was to open up my mind, because I feel like the longer as long as I've stayed in Botswana, I've realized and being out there kind of broadened my mind to show me that there's more to to the creative industry. There's so much more that my talent can do for me. There's so much more support. There's people willing to pay more, and there's people willing to actually help you grow.
And just the numbers in general.
Exactly. Or I can't go for the rest of my life limited to being an artist that is based in Botswana and only sells to Botswana. I love my Botswana, but I definitely plan on broadening my, what is it called?
Your scope.
My market. Yeah, my scope. Yeah.
Emma. Or other artists are Itumeleng, would you say your creative process is changing the more you practice art?
Most definitely, because I'm not gonna lie to you. say I get sort of here, but when I finished my Form 5, I didn't even know you could make a living out of art. I didn't even know you could make money out of art to start. I genuinely did not know that, and that was not something I had planned at the back of my mind for Rikyako. Follow this passion because it's what I love, because I didn't even know it was possible. So kind of one thing, it started out slow, I was not as good as I am right now. My artistry level was not as good as it is now, and definitely I know I'm still growing. So I don't know. I feel like a lot has changed. I remember my family telling me that ke dira di-portrait ata and gore ke dira leng like art that I do out of creativity. I did not know it could sell until I made it. So if you like what it is, it's baby steps. There's so much that has changed, and even the way that I create art, the materials that I use, my my artistic process, so much has changed. Hantse ke gola, hantse ke kopana le di-artist tse dingwe, going on YouTube and learning from that as well, because the internet is so underrated that there is so much you can learn just by going on social media, going on the internet. O kgona go ithuta just so much o le mo lapeng without having to move a finger.
Yeah. Free at school.
So a lot has definitely changed.
Speaking of which, you said you mentioned that you were admitted for civil engineering. Don't you want to be admitted in art school? Like,
I'm not gonna lie. You are cooking the eggs that have not hatched.
sorry. Lord
But
George
that's
Ari.
definitely something I'd love to do for sure.
Oh, okay. All the best,
Yeah.
and I wish that your heart desires do materialize. Lord
Thank
George,
you.
I am here for Itumeleng. Heart, heart, heart. So much love for you. Um, um, now, what are the entrepreneurship is challenging. Entrepreneurship, I can imagine, is even more challenging. So, what are some of the challenges that you go through on a daily, or your key challenges that you can share with us, and perhaps share how you overcame or how you're overcoming?
Mm. Okay, let's say one of the major challenges I feel like I've picked up on more the art industry is that it's seasonal. I don't know how to put it, but the pottery ke tsone tse tshela o kare they give me a better cash flow than art that I create out of creativity or love, you know. Mo ke rekisang gore those kind of artworks sell seasonally. Say ka festive season, art does so well because people want to give that people, and people want to splurge. And then say January or people are watching the pockets, they're careful with the spending, so it's seasonal. So that I think portraits really help with my cash flow, and I don't know what I do without them.
Emma.
I have no idea.
Okay. And then you recently conducted a sip and paint at Botswana Craft. We see these things. I'll just call all of them sip and paint, booming in the country, and a lot of people are conducting them. What's your take on the booming of sip and paint? What do you think this has for arts? We had an interaction not so long ago with some of the art experts saying, Kana, some of the sip and paints and the corporate gigs and whatever are held by people who don't really have the authority of what they're doing, and some of them are subpar or mediocre. So what's your take on that? How do you feel about that?
That was my first sip and paint, and I think in terms that for the longest time I wanted to interact with people because there's so many people out there that actually have an interest actually do the art themselves instead of buying it from someone, because everyone has a creative cloud within, So sip and paint, uh, what do I say? I lost it. I lost
Last.
it.
And how did your particular sip and paint go? How did it go, and how did it
Yeah,
come
it
about? Why
went
did you decide to do
good.
that?
Tata, I did. It wasn't mentioned mom flyer in that I wasn't the organizer of the campaign. I was just
Ah, okay.
invited to come
To
and teach
facilitate.
people how to paint, and
Yeah,
I paid for that. So I
yeah.
do plan on hosting my own sip and paint soon, hopefully, because ke bona gore my fears were holding me back, and just doing it and actually being there, realizing it's not that hard going out and get an spacing and actually interacting with people, because I do nako tse dingwe tlhelo kare my social anxiety gets the best of me.
Ah,
It really does, and ke lemogile gore with the sip and paint it's different because it's someone next to you who e leng gore they have this thriving interest and love for what you do full time or part time, and they want to pick your mind ba batla go bona ka how dirang dilo ka teng, and it's such an enjoyable experience ruta motho o mongwe what you enjoy and actually seeing them ba bona what you tota essence ba bona, but them feeling what you feel when you create. But it's one thing to tell you, okay, not you because you're an artist, but say someone that's not an artist.
how it
It's
feels.
one thing to tell them, hey, it's one thing to tell them, yeah, can I mention and get it. It's one thing to tell someone that hake le mo studio sa me ke le losi behind my canvas with a brush in my hand. I feel like I'm on cloud nine.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I actually give someone the opportunity to actually experience that, they finally understand and see the value of this piece that they made. Because
Yeah,
lebonete ba feel this sentimental value more at waking, and then they
definitely.
start seeing them, yeah, an actual artwork. They no longer look at it as just
Just the
some
paint. That
board with
is
art
definitely.
on it.
Yeah, yeah. And I personally, I asked you the question. Personally, I feel like the boom of sip and paints is going to get people to actually appreciate our craft even more, because a lot of people gain sentiment from it.
Exactly.
A lot of people
Yeah.
get to see that it's not as easy as what was I step in, and a lot of people, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Babona.
So I'm very happy personally to see them boom, and I'm happy. I'm looking forward to your one. Please do invite me, please.
Definitely. I'll be all over. I will be all over. Keep looking at Kenya for I don't know how long, but I'll be marketing the hell out of
And I'm sure because we love you, we'll be there. Moving right along. Moving right along. I know you. It's been a year and a half, but like I said, you're making strides, you're making waves. I see you attending the logo, the Ember thing, the kai kai kai. What are your key achievements in as far as visual arts is concerned?
Should I like listen?
Well, your key ones that you'd like to share with us.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll start with this. recent one. I haven't posted the pictures, but I recently met with the embassy of, not the embassy, the ambassador of France to Botswana for the French resident, and it was an amazing experience. And opportunities are rising, and I don't know how to explain it, but I'm so grateful, and that's something that is like one of my achievements that is top two and definitely not three.
Yeah.
And then working with the BS, I
Oh, I hope we're not losing her again. No internet.
started there on rental basis. Hello?
Emma? Emma, I can hear you now. You lost me at working with TBS.
Hi. Hello, can you now? Offices and at the DBS Diamond Conference that's held yearly.
Yeah.
So that's one that I just every time I think about it, then like sorry, you did that? Like wow, oh my
You did
god.
that! Ma'am, you
Okay,
did
and then
that. You
hey,
definitely did. And you killed it.
Thank
And and
you.
and Go Diamond, I must say, Go Diamond conference, we basically have the whole world
Yeah,
looking at your art.
oh my god, that was amazing though. Like I got the chance to go to international clients. It was just breathtaking for me. Okay,
Um,
and then I'll just list the rest of them into detail because it's now that I'm saying them that I realize how far I've come, and I'm starting to appreciate efforts, because I don't celebrate myself much, because I don't look back on where I've come and where I am now. But
yeah, yeah. No, you like I said, you really, really inspire me.
the other working with Botswana Post, ke ba irela stamp design. That was amazing. Also recently got to work with the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Sports and Culture. Ke ba irela di-portrait tsa di-ministera le the Ministry of, what's it called? Of Minerals, something, something. Le bone ke ba irela portrait. So girl, I'm getting emotional just saying it because, hey,
Let it soak in, ma'am. Let it soak in. Like I said, we opening
yeah,
Women's Month with a powerhouse, guys. Lord George, I believe perhaps he joined in a bit late, but Monankolele, Ari, what inspired you to switch from engineering to art, and what is it that inspires your art that is not portrait? I believe that is also not commission,
yeah,
ma'am.
yeah.
Eh,
Okay, it's two questions again.
Emma.
The first one regarding the engineering, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's purely based on my stubborn attitude. I
Come
am
on, why is it
stubborn.
not your passion?
No, if I wasn't stubborn with actually going ahead with it, like I feel like passion is not enough. I need to actually stick through with it,
And be
live
intentional.
during the bad times, Wabana, because it's not always sunshine and roses, Wabana. There's times where I feel like, this is not working out, I'm gonna quit, but I still keep going because it's the passion for sure. Because I've had a friend once tell me that art, tota kering, passion ya art is so selfish that my experience with trying to multitask it with something else in theory and just said, this is what you're going to do, okay?
Yeah.
People may not see the vision you have in your mind, but you see it and you're going to stick with it and we're going to accomplish that, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then what inspires the art that's not a portrait? What you listed earlier, my my interest in sharing awareness on mental health issues, gender-based violence, and also trying to empower other women out there that have interest or more pursuing their passion for time.
Okay.
I feel like those are the key ones there.
Art by Lone Gaumakwe Ari. What
Mm.
else do you like doing besides art?
Okay. I won't lie to you. Art is the only thing I do right now. I do it full time. I mean it because every single day it's me trying to, let me show you. My studio is right in front of me, but yeah, this is what I do every single day, guys. This is what pays my bills. This is what defines me. But I'm not gonna lie, I do have other interests. There's more to me than just my art. I love cooking, I love makeup, I love hair, I love fashion, travel. There's so much.
Okay.
So I
That's
think
interesting.
for in the long run, will I try to, venture out into trying businesses because, like I said, art is seasonal. So I do need a plan, something to fall back on in case things go, really shaky, religion, I have something to fall back on.
Emma, I get you. You need something more perennial.
Yeah.
I believe that answers Art by Lone. Now, you already stated some of your challenges in art and you
Mm.
stated how you overcome. But there's usually that one big challenge as you penetrate through the market. Did you have that?
Mm.
Like, what was that one biggest challenge and probably your growing pains?
One big one. I'd say it has to be the skeptical energy you get from family yakago when you try to prove to them that this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Especially if, say, like me, I come from a family, Itumeleng, more education, like get your degree and get a job. So when an artist popped up, they're like, we have no proof that this is gonna work, and I feel like that was a hard one to knock down because Black families believe in seeing results, and I
Yeah.
won't lie, the support from my family started booming once they started
Seeing the
seeing
result.
me visualize, "Kore, this is actually possible. You can make an income out of it.
Yeah, yeah. And how did that challenge make you feel? You know,
Hey, that was one of the worst years of my life. That's the year I got this tattoo.
Aw.
I will not lie. It was a hard one. Even my stubbornness was struggling. Never let hard that though. Because when I started out, I couldn't just do this and make it work out. I had a rocky start because I was trying to penetrate the art industry, upcoming artist, and trying to prove to my clients my art is worth investing in. Wabana.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a really hard one because I won't lie. When I started out, even there's people I disappointed by Longwara. I had to go back to the Kebaraki. Give me the.
And I was very curious, like,
Yeah,
when you start off,
yeah.
especially when it's like your livelihood, you get commissions and some clients are not satisfied. How do you deal with that?
Mm. And a satisfied customer is a dirty one. I try my best not to leave my clients unsatisfied because a satisfied client, they can do wonders for your business because I wanna say market and your business like word of mouth.
Yeah.
And if now I'm satisfied as your client, I will go around bad mouthing you because I'm not gonna keep that shit to myself. So I make sure gore ke tlogela motho a le satisfied because they're gonna do the marketing for me.
For you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most
So
effective
I
subliminal
try my
marketing, actually.
so
Yeah.
I it's in my experience, it's important to be patient with your clients because nobody wants to paint a portrait of themselves and have this random person hanging on their wall for the rest of their life. Not even I want that.
Yeah.
Even I So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
nobody wants that.
We've chit chatted before internet loses us. I think we've covered a whole lot. What do you
Mm.
have to say for us? What do you have to say for the audience? What do you have to say? Particularly considering bridging the gap between art creators and consumers.
Let's just say for now, all I'd like to do is express my gratitude because it's been one hell of a journey, and without support, I don't think I'd be who I am. So I do emphasize that Yahaka Batu Baba support.
I hope we're not losing her.
Can you see me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you, Emma. I can see and hear you.
Yeah. So I'm definitely who I am because of the support I receive, be it I like on my face. Because batho ba na le go undermine gore, hey, if I can't support you Gamadi, then that support is not enough. Trust me, one is enough to make me reach a client that I'd never reach Hanusa Shera my post, because there's so many people mo Botswana, and I simply cannot go by myself. I need to
Yeah.
so and it's been helpful and really.
You are beautiful. You are grateful. You're grace. Itumeleng. Just in conclusion, please share your contacts with the listeners and where we can find you. We'll definitely post this on all our platforms on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, as well as our IGTV, and share your contacts. But I think maybe that beautiful voice saying it and saying where we can find you is our way to close the show. Emma, are you with me?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
Emma, Nikere,
People
please
can
don't.
reach out to
Okay.
my my Facebook page at Art by Hello. The internet is killing me.
So jealous.
And
um,
also email at Motswetla, itumeleng@gmail.com.
Emma. Thank you very much, Itumeleng, for honoring this invite. Thank you very much for being vulnerable and sharing all your insights with us. You looked beautiful today. We learned a lot from you. The glitches are the glitches, but we still felt you, saw you, and heard you. Thank you very much. Ke a leboga le ka moso.
Thank you so much, my darling. It's been lovely.
Emma. Um, these are nails by Inza Spa. Anybody who'd like to try her out, please do try her out. Thank you.
Love you.
Emma. Good night.
Creative Cut, filling the creator consumer gap.